What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only game show you need is here, and today I'll be reviewing the one, the only, Cyberpunk 2077. Let's get into it. And before we get into it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel out. And you already heard all the YouTube spiel. Make sure you leave a comment if you agree or disagree. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment if you don't mind. But let's get into it. So Cyberpunk 2077. I think it was announced in 2012. Big deal about the game was it was being made by the one and only CD Projekt Red. And for those who don't know who CD Projekt Red is, they grew up and blew up like in 2015 for making the one and only Witcher 3. And I think they probably made the other Witcher games, but I'm not really that tapped in. The whole idea of one of the greatest studios making this whole bounty hunter cyberpunk game just captivated the audience. Now back then, I personally wasn't into the gaming sphere as much. I really wasn't tapped in. Some of the other YouTubers I watched, and they was really hyped on it. So I think through osmosis, I began to get kind of hyped on it too. Cyberpunk 2077 really didn't infiltrate my friend space until around 2019, 2018. I just kept seeing all these crazy like reveals of weapons and customization, and me, I'm an RPG fiend. Even when I was younger, I was getting into like any RPG I could touch. So this just made sense. It just made sense for something to be made like this and captivate somebody like me. So needless to say, when the game was finally announced for December 10th, I was on it. Guys, please send me copies of games. I want to review games early, thank you. Let's talk about the gameplay. Starting off with customization. It's not the craziest thing in the world. And to me, that's a good thing. I personally don't like all these sliders, and it's really overwhelming. I just want my person to look cool, not like a fucking dweeb when I'm playing the game. And luckily, the game is in first person, so, you don't see your character that much. So that doesn't really matter. But, just the whole customization thing, it was really cool to just go through everything. Just make my character kind of look like, this not too much robotic rebel. I didn't really want my person to look too cyberwary. Giving you enough customization to feel like that your V is unique, but not so much that you're like extremely overwhelmed the whole time. I feel like that's just really great, especially in a lot of modern games. The whole idea of, let's give the player more can sometimes be a detriment, Like, of course, some dudes want to go ahead and make abominations, but it's a lot of dudes just a lot simpler who just want to make a cool character and get out there and explore Night City. With every first-person game, there's always FPS elements. Gunplay so much is not bad, not good. I mean, when you first start off, every gun just kind of feels the same until you start putting perks into those certain type of abilities. I made a strong build, so my gun perks leans more towards shotguns and light machine guns. So when I first started using them, they felt horrible. But as I started upgrading everything, it feels tight. Wasn't the worst. I remember like when I used to play Fallout and stuff, the gunplay was a lot worse. But in Cyberpunk, a lot more solid. Not the best. It's not like a Twitch Doom Eternal type of shooting thing, but overall solid. If you're into FPSs, if you're into first person shooters, you won't come here and be like, wow, this is ass. So when you first start off the game, you get a choice between 3 different paths: Nomad, Corpo, or Street Kid. I just kind of leaned a lot into like, really trying to be this Nomad character. From my build all the way down to like the things I would try to say to these people, every time a Nomad answer came up in dialogue, I would pick it. And I feel like that's my one complaint about the story. The 3 different paths, they really don't affect the story as much as I would want them to. A lot of the Nomad choices were just choices, just little off things to say because I'm a Nomad. And from a lot of the other people I talked to in my Discord, kind of the same thing, Corpo, they had different things they could say, but it didn't really affect the story as much as I would want it to. The prologue, about hour or two, and I could just say, the prologue, I was at the edge of my seat. I'm literally watching this prologue like, bro, what's about to happen? Like, this is insane. And they just have me playing this all casually. Just everything about the story is engaging. I personally haven't beat it yet because I'm trying to have a full playthrough, and usually how I play games, I pretty much do everything. I mean, like I said earlier, my first playthrough, I've already put about 40 hours into the game. roughly, you know, on and off. So I love it. Like, it's just really, really crispy. One thing I hate to my core, I hate driving in this game. I mean, granted, some of the better cars do drive better, but just in terms of playing the game and trying to drive around, I hate driving. It's bad. It makes me very upset. I sometimes don't even want to drive. Like, maybe that was like a design choice to have the cars feel kind of clunky. I could kind of see why they would do that, but do I like it? No, I do not like it. Matter of fact, I hate it. Now, granted, I played on the PC, so I've seen here or there glitches, not as much as like some of my other friends who are playing on last gen systems. And it's just it's kind of crazy that, like, you know, CD Projekt Red had all these pushbacks only to like kind of drop a game not really in its fullest state. One thing I can give them credit for is that they're actively and still want to support the game. If you do want to get the game like mid right now, you know, about to buy it for a Christmas gift, I definitely think that if you're on the last gen systems, don't buy the game. I have family members who have the PS5 and I watch them play it on the PS5. Crispy, looks nice. Definitely if you're a PC gamer, definitely worth the money right now. But the glitches are there. I can't lie about it. As much as I like the game, as much as I want to champion a lot of the good stuff they have done, I can't lie. There are a lot of glitches. It's one glitch in particular that just annoys my soul. If I'm in a car and I'm driving and I get out the car, I have to start and stop the game to run again. Little game breaking glitches that like just kind of kill the experience for me. The glitches are getting patched out, you know, day by day. CD Projekt Red is super on crunch right now, trying to get the game as crispy as possible, and I gotta give them credit for that. But the glitches are there, so you know. So real quick, let's go over some pros and cons about the game. Great story. I love the story. I love the progression. I love how every decision I make as V kind of feels impactful. And, you know, and as I continue to play the game and as I beat it, I really feel like some of the decisions I made will impact the story. The gunplay's a little wonky, but I feel like that's on purpose, because as you start using the guns and putting perks into those skills, the guns feel so much better. I guess that was a way for them to really show, like, you're gonna be a shotgun master, you have to use a shotgun. I can see how people won't like that if you're like a, you know, Valorant player or something, but you're not playing Valorant, so shut up. Great RPG elements, cyberware, perk points, different type of skills and abilities. You really start to feel your character come to. In terms of cons, driving. Was not a fan of driving. Maybe because I suck at driving, I don't know. Felt clunky a lot of times. And even when I got better cars, I still didn't really feel it. If you're gonna drive in this game, I definitely recommend using the motorcycle. Another one is, it's not the deepest character customization. And I know for a lot of people that will be a problem for them. For me, I didn't really mind. But if you just want to go in there and make a cool character and get out, chef's kiss. The main problem with the game is glitches. The glitches are there. They didn't really affect my enjoyment of the game, but they are there. I would just wait. Give it a little bit of time. Let CD Projekt Red patch everything. If I had to give Cyberpunk 2077 a stamp, certified gas. If you're playing on PC and next gen systems, definitely a super pass if you're playing on anything last gen. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button below. Leave a comment if you think my opinion is ass. And yeah, go ahead and follow my Twitch. I do a lot of these live gameplays over on my Twitch, and it'd be really dope just to see you guys pull up and tell me how bad my gameplay is. But with that being said, catch you guys later. Yes, sir. Over.